The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles become the Turtle Rangers in this video, and it's awesome. What's up everyone, James here, and we return with the finale of Power Rangers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you didn't see the first video, I'll have a link to it right here and below the like button, and make sure you hit that like button. Let's do a quick recap though on what mostly happened in the last video, because it has been some time since I dropped that video. Unbeknownst to the Power Rangers, Tommy had secretly infiltrated the Foot Ninja Clan in New York to find his childhood friend Tyler. He stole a piece of tech, which was an advanced battery for Shredder, that led to the Power Rangers clashing with the Ninja Turtles. After Tommy made it to the elite level of the Foot Clan, he found his friend Tyler, who ended up betraying him. Shredder used what I call his demorpher device on Tommy and took his morpher and became the Green Ranger. He got into an awesome fight with Rita Repulsa, which was the highlight for me in this series so far. The fight was just absolutely amazing. They eventually agreed to be allies, and the Shredder dominated the Power Rangers, taking away their ability to morph using the demorpher device. What it specifically did to the Rangers is it blasted a molecular distortion field affecting the Rangers' DNA, preventing them from connecting with their power coins and the morphing grid. The Shredder had given them an ultimatum to hand over their power coins by sunrise, or he was going to end Tommy. In order to stop Shredder and Rita, the Rangers gave their morphers to the Turtles and April. That's where we pick up, with the Turtles and April in Times Square looking to stop Rita's monster wildfire she unleashed on the city. I like that Mikey is like, we gotta say it and do the pose. The Turtles say, it's morphin' time. Donnie says, Mastodon. April says, Pterodactyl. Leo says, Triceratop. Mikey says, Saber-toothed tiger. And Raph says, Tyrannosaurus. The Turtle Rangers are born and they look sick. Now the Turtles are really excited about this fight because they don't have to hold back, since the Putties and Wildfire aren't human. They can go all out for once. But here's the interesting thing. April mentions to the Turtles that she's never fired a bow in her entire life, but for some reason she's freaking Robin Hood with a bow right now. This phenomenon is actually something someone who isn't familiar with Power Rangers wouldn't know about, and I'm pretty sure Boom Studios is the one who established and explained it in their Power Ranger series. Let me know in the comments below though if one of the shows introduced this first. So the Rangers morphers connect to the morphing grid, a multi-dimensional energy source. When one of the Rangers would morph, their cellular makeup would instantaneously be uploaded to the grid, giving them the knowledge and powers that come with it. That's why in the OG show, Billy and Kimberly, who really were the ones in the team who had no martial arts background, would turn into badass fighters in their Ranger forms. Or when all of the team got their weapons, they immediately already knew how to use them. Another thing that's cool here is the Turtles didn't get the Rangers' traditional weapons. Instead, it's a mixture of their traditional weapons along with the Rangers. For example, Raphael doesn't have the power sword, instead his sais have become power sais. Mikey's nunchucks have become power nunchuck daggers. Leo's dual katanas have become power dual lances. And Donnie's staff has become a power staff axe. It's all awesome. While the Turtles are battling Wildfire, back at the Turtles' lair, the Rangers discuss sneaking into the Technodrome and saving Tommy. The worry is taking on Rita and Shredder with no powers. That's when Splinter interrupts their discussion with an awesome speech. He says, as I have often had to remind my sons, strength can be lost, speed can be taken, but these things do not define who you are. You are not Rangers because of your morphers. You have your morphers because inside you are all Rangers. Adaptability, camaraderie, trust, and focus. These things can never be taken, and they will forge you into the warriors you already are. The Rangers arm themselves with weapons and stealth gear, calling themselves the Ninja Rangers. Which is funny because that does become a thing in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie and in the show. Another funny thing is that Casey says he would have gone with matching hockey masks, which honestly would have been an even better look. So the Rangers and Casey traverse the sewers in Casey's van and successfully sneak into the Technodrome. After taking out some Foot Ninja, they come across Baxter Stockman, planning on taking samples from Tommy's brain, spine, and bone marrow, because he wants to see how the energy from the morphing grid affects his cells. He immediately runs away when he sees them though. After they free Tommy and are on their way out of the Technodrome, they get ambushed by the Foot with Tommy's childhood friend Tyler leading them. Now returning back to the Turtles real quick, their fight with Wildfire isn't getting any headway because he's keeping them back with his fire attacks and they're just dodging them and saving citizens in the area. The Turtles and April decide to end this fight quickly before people get hurt by whipping out the big guns. Y'all should know what's coming. The Turtles and April combine their weapons and form the Power Blaster. And you can't look at this image and tell me with a straight face that the Turtles don't look cooler than the Power Rangers. They yell together, "Cowabunga!" and fire the Power Blaster, unleashing a massive blast that ends Wildfire. Back with the Rangers as they're battling the Foot, Stockman unleashes what he calls the next step in the evolution of the Foot Clan, the Putty Soldier Elite. It's a combination of the most powerful Foot Ninja and the Putty Substance. These things look menacing. The bad thing here for the regular Foot Ninja is these things aren't able to distinguish friend from foe. Or maybe they just don't care. Because when Tyler calls for his fellow Foot Ninja to get out of the Putty's way, one of them is already in their grasp. He tries to save them, but the Putty Elite starts attacking him. That's when Tommy saves him and points out to him that he told him the truth. The Foot Clan doesn't care about him and pleads with him to gather his friends and help him and the Rangers escape, which Tyler does. Later we go to Rita and Shredder, who are just blaming each other for their failures to stop the Turtles and the Rangers. Rita suggests to Shredder that he call for his allies in Dimension X to help, which Shredder refuses to do because he says their help comes with, quote, a heavy price. Whatever that heavy price is, he doesn't elaborate on. He recommends they get the Rangers morphers in order to gain their favor. Remember, Dimension X is a separate dimension that's usually the home dimension of the alien warlord and brain crawler Krang and the Utroms. When Rita mentions to Shredder that she's beginning to doubt their partnership, Shredder responds, "Instead of blaming each other, how about we take a more direct approach?" They bring the Technodrome to the surface at Central Park. Rita Repulsa says, "Magic wand, make these mutants grow." She turns Bebop and Rocksteady into huge kaiju, and they start wreaking havoc in the city. The Rangers and Turtles are watching the news reporting on this. Now apparently Alpha and Zordon have been trying to figure out a way to reconnect the Rangers with their power coins, but need more time. So the Turtles and April morph it up and take the Megazord to face the mutants. The one thing I wish this series did that Godzilla vs. the Power Rangers did so well is utilize more of Rita's minions. Like Goldar and another of Rita's monsters should be a part of this all-out assault. But there is a possible reason why Rita is holding back. You'll see what I mean by the end of this video. While the Turtle Rangers are taking the fight to Bebop and Rocksteady, they end up calling on the Power Sword. But literally after receiving it, the Megazord gets hit with an array of rockets and then gets bashed by the Dragon Zord. The Shredder controlling the Dragon Zord is such a cool image. Really, the Shredder as the Green Ranger is honestly the coolest thing to come out of this series in my opinion. He's just so cool and looks so badass. I love it. The Turtles find themselves in a 3v1. They're able to fight back, but Shredder was really going easy on them because he didn't want to destroy the Megazord. But he doesn't care anymore. He orders Bebop and Rocksteady to go all out. He says, "I've waited an eternity to finish you. I only wish I could have done it with my bare hands. Farewell, Turtles. We both deserved better." That's when the Rangers arrive, operating Donatello's robotic turtle, Metalhead. Now, how the Power Rangers did this is Billy had made some modifications to Metalhead and reversed the polarity on the turtle's miniaturizing ray and turned it into a Zord. With the battlefield somewhat even now, Bebop and Rocksteady get their butts handed to them. The Megazord and Metalhead then turn their attention to the Dragon Zord. The Rangers demand Shredder hand over Tommy's power coin and surrender. I just like how cocky the Shredder is. He responds, "By all means, come and get it." The Rangers transfer Metalhead's energy to the Megazord's crown cannon, and the Turtles unleash all the power they have on the Dragon Zord and take it out. Since Shredder can't have the Rangers' power coins and their Zords, then he decides no one will. He escapes and has Stockman use the Technodrome to target the Rangers and Turtles. Zordon informs them that the Megazord has adaptive capabilities, so they combine the Megazord and Metalhead. They create the Turtle Megazord, and this thing looks so awesome. They leap onto the Technodrome and slice it through with the Power Sword. They destroy Shredder's base of operations. After the battle at the command center, the Rangers and Turtles discuss with Zordon the possibility of what Shredder and Rita could be planning next, since Shredder said something to the effect during the battle that he'll be the only one who can use the power coins. Zordon understands their concerns but points out that without the Rangers' powers, they won't be enough to stop them. At that moment, the combined intellect of Billy, Alpha 5, and Donnie come up with the solution to the Rangers' problem. Meanwhile, on the moon at Rita's palace, Rita and Shredder are planning to use Rita's magic to enhance the power of Shredder's Demorpher device and unleash it on all of Earth, so no one can use the power coins except those he chooses. However, Shredder makes it clear to Rita that he doesn't trust her magical abilities to come through on this, because so far he's lost everything by working with her. He says, "If this doesn't work, I will cast you into the stars and claim this fortress as my own." Rita replies, "You are my guest, Orokusaki, and a guest should never threaten the master of the house." A voice interrupts and says, "What about us?" The Turtles, Casey, and the Rangers, back with their powers, have arrived at Rita's palace. And to no surprise, a fight breaks out. The Turtles take on Rita, and it's really awesome. Mikey is the one to land a blow on her. Casey is fighting Goldar, and even mentions that he didn't wake up this morning thinking he'd be on the moon fighting a golden gorilla. The Rangers take on Shredder, and he is once again dominating them. He says, "Do you honestly think you can best me in hand-to-hand combat?" Suddenly, he gets blasted by his own Demorpher device by Tommy. He smashes Shredder and finally gets his Morpher back and yells, "Dragon Zord!" The OG Green Ranger is finally back. He demands the Shredder to surrender, and in true Shredder fashion, he says, "I will die before I surrender." But at that moment, Rita surrounds him with a magical barrier, and she demands that he introduce her to his allies from Dimension X, or she'll hand him over to the Rangers and Turtles. Shredder surmises that she had this all planned from the start, which Rita doesn't deny. And this is what I meant by her purposely holding back her forces. Rita ends up teleporting them all away. Sometime later at the Turtles' lair, Tommy apologizes to Splinter for endangering his sons, but Splinter assures him that thankfully he didn't do any damage that can't be undone. The battery he stole will be returned, the Demorpher device will be destroyed, and if Rita and Shredder ever return, the Rangers and Turtles will face them together as friends. We see both teams hanging out together, which is pretty cool. They're relaxing after their victory, and we see that they have shared interests. When it comes to Tommy's friend Tyler, he offers him a place at Angel Grove, but Tyler refuses it and decides to stay in New York because he and his fellow foot deserters that he is leading want to redeem themselves. Casey promises Tommy that he'll keep an eye on them and keep them in line. Tommy tells Tyler that if he ever needs him, he'll be there for him because they're family. Now this sweet, touchy, feel-good moment gets interrupted by Raphael because he wants to throw hands with Tommy. He tells him that their fight isn't done yet, that they both have one win over each other. The story ends with Raphael and Tommy going at it, and the other Turtles and Rangers watching. That is the end of the video and of the series. There is a sequel series, and there is a third one on the way with no release date as of right now. So if you guys want me to cover it, comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember every day to go beyond.